Good game or a bad game, who cares? We can win $25,000. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into this episode of Winning Bets. This is one of the free games that we play, and it's Thursday Night Football over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, where we can win $25,000. All we got to do is correctly answer 6 questions to take home that $25,000. I don't think anybody's done it so far this season, and we've all been splitting that guaranteed $500 prize that they go ahead and give out back-to-back Thursday nights, where we may get a doozy of a game. Panthers-Texans, that was a lousy game. Bengals, Jaguars, this one has the potential to be a lousy game. But you know what? It doesn't matter. When you got $25,000 on the line, that makes this one entertaining and fun to watch. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it and see how we'll answer the questions this week. Question 1 is who's going to score the first touchdown? Well, the Bengals so far in the season, they have 7 passing touchdowns and only 1 rushing touchdown. The Jaguars have 5 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. The Bengals rush defense, in terms of maybe they'll force the Jaguars into passing, they rank number 8 in terms of yards and number 5 in terms of yards per carry. The Jaguars, they're pretty good in yards per carry. They rank number 7, but in yards, they fall all the way back to number 17. Large in part, though, it's probably because teams are running on them as they're winning, in the fourth quarter. Bengals, if we look at their wide receivers in terms of targets, they've got Boyd with 19, Chase with 16, and Higgins with 15. The next is 7. So you've got a huge drop-off between the top 3, and then you kind of got a tight grouping there of the top 3 to kind of like who decide to pick from. Meanwhile, from the Jaguars, their wide receivers, you got Jones with 28, Clark with 22, and Shenault there has 21. I'm going to go ahead and lock in with Joe Mixon, actually, the running back there from the Bengals. And the reason I settled on Joe Mixon is the Jaguars, they allow the 4th most fantasy points to the running back position. They've also allowed 4 touchdowns on the season to the running backs, which is tied for 2nd most in the league. And they've also allowed running backs to have 1 receiving touchdown on the season. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with Joe Mixon tonight, or Thursday night, to have the first touchdown. Question number 2 is what team is going to have the most rushing yards in the amount? Well, I just gave you the stats there for the Bengals rush defense and how good they are, not only yards, but also yards per carry. So I definitely think the Jaguars will have to struggle to run the ball, and I also think the Jaguars will be throwing the ball late to try and catch up because that spread is at -7. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in at the Bengals, and I'll say 111 to 120 yards. And that kind of fits in nicely with the Jaguars allowing 115 per game and the Bengals rushing for 105. So you kind of get close to both of those numbers there with 111 to 120. Question number 3 is which team's going to pass the yards, or have the most passing yards, and what's going to be the amount? Well, the Jaguars, I think they're going to be throwing the ball late to kind of keep up and claw their way back up into this game. But that doesn't mean it's going to be all that successful because Trevor Lawrence is only completing 54.2% of his passes on the season for 238 yards per game. And the Jaguars, if you add in the fact that they just traded their best cornerback in Henderson. So I'm just going to go ahead and lock in on the Bengals on this one. Give me the Bengals and 251 to 275 yards. The next one we look at here is which team's going to have the longest completion and how many yards. Well, the Bengals have 6 big plays on the season, and the Jaguars have 9 big plays on the season from the passing game, and we call big plays of 20-plus yards or more. The Bengals, though, they only allow 8 yards per completion. And the Jaguars, they allow 12.1 yards per completion. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Bengals at 36 to 40 yards. We know there's tight windows. Question number 5 is which team's going to have the most total yards in the amount? Well, since I said the Bengals would have the most rushing and passing yards, it's just simple math. So I'll go ahead and say Bengals and 376 to 400 yards for the Bengals. And question number 6 is who's going to be the winner and what's going to be that win margin. Again, the spread is -7. The Bengals, I think they've had some good wins. They beat the Vikings, they beat the Bears, and they beat the Steelers. I think the Bears obviously have a good defense. The Vikings normally have a good defense. And I think going into Heinz Field on the road there in Pittsburgh and getting that victory was really good. Just got to hope they don't have a letdown, right? You got a good victory. It was a nice road victory. Now you play on a short week. Hopefully there's not a letdown. That could be the only thing that would worry me here. But I'll go ahead and say the Bengals, and I'm going to say the Bengals will win this game by 9 to 10 points. Look, I'm holding on to a Jets future bet that they'll be the last winless team. So if anybody wants the Jaguars to win a game, I want the Jaguars to win a game, but I can't predict it right here. Go ahead and give me the Bengals victory. All right, guys, that's how we're doing it for a chance to win $25,000 this week. If you guys want any real sports bets on this game, I'll go ahead and link a video here at the end where I've already got some NFL player props for Thursday night, and then I'll also keep coming out with more NFL player props on my daily show, so you guys can check out those as we lead on up to kickoff. Otherwise, guys, enjoy the game. Good luck with your picks, and I'll see you back here next Thursday night. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.